There is something happening in America right now, and millions of people are feeling it every single day. Not on the headlines, not in viral trends, but in their daily life, in their wallets, in their homes. This is the cost of living crisis. Just a few years ago, life looked very different. Rent was manageable, groceries were affordable, fuel prices were stable, people could plan their future with confidence. But today, everything feels different, everything feels expensive, and for many, it feels impossible to keep up. Let's start with rent. In many cities across the United States, rent has increased dramatically. A one bedroom apartment that once cost $1,000 now costs $2,000 or more. For millions, this means most of their income goes to housing. Saving money becomes difficult, planning for the future becomes uncertain. Now think about groceries. Every visit to the supermarket feels heavier than before. Prices are higher, bills are bigger, milk, bread, eggs, meat, everything costs more. Families are spending more money for the same items, but their income's not increasing at the same speed. Then comes fuel. Fuel prices directly affect daily life. People need to travel for work, they need to move. When fuel becomes expensive, everything becomes expensive. Utilities, healthcare, and insurance are also rising. At the same time, wages are not keeping up. This creates a dangerous gap between earning and spending, and that gap is growing. So, how do people survive? They use credit cards, they take loans, they delay payments, they sacrifice comfort. This leads to another problem, debt. Millions of people are now living under extreme financial pressure. But to truly understand why life is so expensive, we have to look deeper into inflation. It's no longer just about pandemic supply chains. Today, it's driven by the very essentials we can't avoid. Now, the big question is why? One major reason is inflation. Inflation reduces the value of your money. From soaring energy costs to the prices at the supermarket, inflation has transitioned into a persistent pressure on our daily lives. Even as other sectors stabilize, the costs of the things we need most continue to climb. Another reason is supply chain disruption. When supply is limited, prices go up. Global systems are still recovering. And then there's housing. This isn't just a trend, it's a structural crisis. We are facing a shortage of millions of homes, and that gap is the single largest driver of inflation today. But beyond numbers, there is a human side. People are stressed, they are working harder than ever, yet still struggling to survive. With mortgage rates staying high and a supply that just can't keep up, the dream of affordable living is slipping away. For many, a standard monthly payment has nearly doubled in just a few short years. Young people are delaying life decisions. Buying a home feels impossible. Starting a family feels risky. The future feels uncertain. Beyond the numbers and the bills, there is another force at play. Technology, automation, and artificial intelligence are no longer futuristic concepts. They are actively reshaping how we work and who gets hired. We are seeing a massive churn in the labor market. While thousands of routine roles are being displaced, millions of new jobs are being created in sectors we couldn't have imagined a decade ago. It's a radical redistribution of work. The most vulnerable are entry-level and routine roles, but for those who adapt, the rewards are significant. New titles like prompt engineers and AI compliance officers are becoming the new standard in a rapidly evolving career landscape. But adaptation isn't easy, it requires reskilling on a global scale. This shift adds another layer of uncertainty to an already fragile economic system, making the question of what comes next even more critical. So, what happens next? Will things get better, or will life become even more difficult? The answer is still unknown. If you want to decode the stories behind the world's biggest events, this is Mystery Decode. Like, subscribe, and don't miss the next mystery.